G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since you've seen our faces because we've been crazy busy, but we're back with some exciting news on my behalf anyway, and that is, I've just gone out and got myself a new soccer mum car, and I've got massive plans for it, so let's have a chat about it. Now before I get stuck in and tell you all about the soccer mum car here, I'm going to tell you the exciting news, which is the reason I actually bought this thing. And that is, later on this year, my partner and I are taking off to do a tour of Australia for 6 months. We're doing a full lap of Australia, and I've been itching to tell you guys all about this, but I'm finally here and I'm so stoked to share this. And seriously, I'm counting down the days until we leave because this is a bucket list thing that we've both wanted to do since the day we got our licenses. And that's what this video is all about, how I've started to plan it, what the thought process was behind the vehicle that I ended up buying to do the trip in, how I'm gonna budget it, and some of the locations that I'm planning to go, which you guys will be able to see as well. Now, when it comes to the trip itself and where we're going, well, we're hitting every single state in Australia. To some people, planning the lap piece by piece, day by day is very important, but I'm not much of a planner myself. I'd rather just pull out a map and look at it and figure out where we're going in the day, which is part of the excitement for me. My partner is the complete opposite to me. She wants to know exactly where we're going to be on any given day. So I'm going to let her plan a little bit, but for me, it's more of a throw a dart at the map kind of thing. But of course, we're going to be visiting Fraser Island, Cape York, Lawn Hill. I've been there before. Cannot wait to go back there. The Kimberley, that's something that I cannot wait to go to. That's been a bucket list dream location of mine since I was a little kid. Obviously the West Coast, Flinders Ranges, we're gonna do part of the high country, and of course Tasmania. Again guys, if you've got any hidden gems or locations that I need to visit on this trip, leave me a comment down below because I'm dead keen to get some feedback from you guys. Now, a bit more on the Prado here and why I chose the Prado. So first up, it's a 2004 model. It's only got 185,000 Ks on it. It's really well looked after, a full service history, never done any hard work, and I knew that because it didn't even have a tow bar on it when I first picked it up. Now, as I said earlier, it's a 2004 model, which means it has the 1KZ engine and only a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, why did I go the 1KZ over the 1KD? Well, I've heard that they've had some pretty significant injector issues if they're not looked after properly. That's something that I really wanted to avoid. And the other thing about the 1KZ is it's so easy to work on. Everything's right there. And if something does happen to go wrong and I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I should be able to fix it myself. And parts for this thing are a dime a dozen. They're really, really easy to find. Now, the other massive selling point as to why I went a Prado over another wagon like a Pajero or something like that is, seriously, it really came down to the massive fuel capacity that this thing has. So you've got one 87 litre tank and another 90 litre tank, which gives you just under 180 litres of fuel, which in my books is a massive win, especially with the fuel prices constantly going up. I didn't have to go through all the effort of putting a long range tank in because it's already got that massive capacity that I was after. Now let's quickly address the elephant in the room as to why I went with a wagon, because I've been so vocal about the fact that utes are the better tourer, and I've always had that opinion where you can do so much more with a ute that you just simply could not do with a wagon. Again, I really wanted a ute, but I just couldn't justify spending that much money on buying the ute and then having to pay thousands of dollars for a tray and canopy setup, which is the direction that I wanted to go in. But my trip is going to be on a very tight budget, and the purchase price of the vehicle was part of that budget, of course, so I had to keep costs as low as possible, so I bit the bullet and got a wagon instead. Now just quickly, the other couple of reasons why I got it were comfort and safety on the road. As you guys know, I drive an 88 model Pajero every single day. I love the thing to death, but it's not exactly the type of car that I'd want to take around Australia. One, for the comfort, and two, it's not the safest car in the world. Let's be completely honest, older four-wheel drives just aren't as safe as the newer ones. It all just came down to those key factors. Quick interruption here, guys. Since you're the people that keep this channel going, I thought I'd return the favor and hook you all up with a cheeky discount code. Now you can use this online at fourwheeldrivesupercentre.com.au or head down to your local store to get your rig ready for any outdoor adventure. You get 10% off, so go nuts. Okay, so let's get down to nuts and bolts and what I paid for this thing. So I paid just under 16 grand for it, which is an absolute bargain when you consider the market today. It might sound like a lot because it's a 2004 model, but again, the prices of used four-wheel drives these days is just going up and up and up, and it seems ridiculous, and I couldn't justify spending $18,000+ on a car with almost double the Ks on it compared to this thing. So that's why as soon as I saw this thing, I jumped on it. And it's a real testament to, if you're in the market and you're keen and you wait around and you don't go for the first thing you see, you will end up with an absolute gem. So my partner and I have set aside $50,000 as a budget for this trip, which might sound like a lot, but I'll explain. We've set aside $25,000 for the vehicle, which is including the purchase price and all the aftermarket accessories that we'll put on it. And the other $25,000 will go towards fuel. That's the number one biggest expense that we're going to come up against on the trip, especially these days. As you all know, the fuel prices are going crazy, but we've budgeted for that. The second is attractions like ferry costs to get to Fraser Island, national parks fees and stuff like that. And of course, we've got food and other little expenses. Now, how did I budget for the fuel bill? So I figured I'm going to be doing roughly 30 to 32,000 Ks, and the car I've over budgeted. Right now it's doing about 10.5 to 11 liters per 100K. I've over budgeted and gone with about 15 liters per 100K just to make sure we're safe. It'll roughly be about $12,000 to $13,000 just in fuel. And as I said, I've over budgeted. I don't think it'll be that much, I hope, but with today's prices going up, it's better to overestimate how much you're going to be spending. And just a quick note here, I'm not trying to scare anyone away at all. You could definitely do a lap around Australia for a lot less than what I budgeted for with a more affordable vehicle. If you don't have the budget for a $16,000 or even a $30,000 car, that's totally fine. You see people getting around Australia in $5,000 vans and stuff like that. As long as the car's reliable and you trust it and it's safe enough to get you all the way around, then go for it. There's nothing holding you back at all. So don't let this scare you in any way. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just going through exactly what my plan is and how I'm budgeting for it. A quick reminder here, guys, if you haven't already, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because I'm going to be taking you guys on this entire trip with me. I'm going to do a full series on the car itself, but then once I hit the road, I'll be taking you guys along with me. And the cameraman that's behind the camera right now, he's not actually coming along with me, so I'll be shooting it all by myself. This is a completely self-funded trip. This has got nothing to do with work, and I'm so excited to finally be able to tackle something like this and take you guys along for the journey as well. So do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. If you can't half tell, guys, I'm super excited and I cannot wait to hit the road. We're counting down the days. Again, this is something that we've wanted to do since we're basically little kids. But more importantly, I'm more excited to take you guys along with me. Super keen to get my hands on a camera and show you what it's like to do a lap around Australia. But before I hit the road, of course, I've got a lot on my plate with this thing here, turning it from a soccer mum car into a tourer ready for a lap around Australia on a very tight budget. So the next time you see me, I'll probably be spinning a couple of spanners. See you next time.